everybody, and welcome to the Upkeep for Monday, October 30th, 2023.
That's right. It's all of the magic news you need in 10 minutes or less.
And normally, Maria and Megan would be bringing you the magic news, but this week, in honor of Halloween, Captain Catherine Janeway is bringing you the news from my side.
Yes, and I was today told that I have the color palette of Sully from Monsters, Inc. So I'm bringing you Sully from Monsters, Inc. is bringing you the news.
Oh, great. I've always wanted my news from a random monster. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right? Well, I would argue that most of the time, if you listen to us, you are getting your news from a random monster, but...
Fair point. All right, everybody. The news this week is kicking off with Lost Caverns of Ixalan because previews for that set are now well and truly underway.
Yes, the set releases on November 17th with pre-release events the weekend before and an early access streamer event on Thursday the 9th starting at 10 a.m. Pacific.
They've revealed all of the mechanics for the set, which we went over last week on Good Luck High Five, but in case you didn't get a chance to listen to this, we'll just quickly summarize them for you. The first big one was called Craft, which is a very new and kind of splashy mechanic that they revealed. For example, it's on this card Clay-Fired Bricks, which is 1 and a white for an artifact. When Clay-Fired Bricks enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic Plains card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle, you gain 2 life. And here's where Craft comes in. It has Craft with Artifact, which is 5 white. Exile this artifact, exile another artifact you control, or an artifact card from your graveyard, return this card transformed under its owner's control. Craft only as a sorcery, and then it comes back in as Cosmium Kiln, another artifact. When Cosmium Kiln enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 colorless gnome artifact creature tokens. Creatures you control get +1/+1. So it's a pretty cool new mechanic to craft.
Yeah, gnomes.
Gnomes! Yeah, also gnomes.
There's also Descended, which is Descended happens if a permanent card was put into your graveyard from anywhere this turn. It's on cards like Blood Rage Mycoid. 3 and a black for a 4/3. At the beginning of your end step, if you descended this turn, create a 1/1 black fungus creature token with this creature can't block. You descended if a permanent card was put into your graveyard from anywhere.
Yeah, they've also got Descend 4 and Descend 8, and something called Fathomless Descent, which just counts the number of permanents in your graveyard. Like on the card Terror Tide, which is 2 black for a sorcery, Fathomless Descent. All creatures get -X until end of turn, where X is the number of permanent cards in your graveyard. The other new spicy mechanic they unveiled is Discover, which lets you get a spell from out of your library. It's on a card like Geological Appraiser, which is 2 red for a 3/2. When Geological Appraiser enters the battlefield, if you cast it, discover 3. And Discover reads like this. Exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card with mana value 3 or less. Cast it without paying its mana cost, or put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom in a random order. So Discover, people are calling it quote-unquote fixed cascade. It always comes with a number, and that number tells you the mana value that you are limited to. Very cool.
Explore also returns in a new way. Now cards can give other creatures Explore. It's on cards like Miner's Guidewing, which is a single white for a bird with flying and vigilance. It's a 1/1. When it dies, target creature you control explores.
Yeah, I think that's a cool new way to think about Explore. They also have map tokens, which are 1-tap sack target creature Explore. So that's another new way to have Explore happen in this Ixalan set. They've also added finality counters, which says if it's a counter that says if this creature would die, you exile it instead. And transforming double face cards are back.
Pre-orders for the bundles are live on Arena. There's the Saheeli Pack Bundle, which is $50 for 50 packs and 5 golden packs. Saheeli sleeves and her cards, Saheeli Sun's Brilliance. There's the Veto Play Bundle, $25, Veto's card and sleeves, plus 2 draft tokens, a sealed token, and 5 play-in points. And the Quintorius Pass Bundle, $15 for Quintorius sleeves, a Mastery Pass, and the Quintorius canned card.
All right, everybody, there's exciting stuff to watch on Twitch this week for a good cause. It's Extra Life, which Wizards of the Coast generally participates in. So if you're interested, you can check it out every day from 9 a.m. to noon Pacific time on twitch.tv/magic. You get to watch Wizards employees stream a bunch of different kinds of games, including Magic Arena and Baldur's Gate 3. And they're going to share stories about their jobs, what it's like to work at Wizards of the Coast. And then on Saturday, November 4th, there's a special stream running 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., which features a ton of different gameplay.
There's Zulaport Cutthroat Magic, which is a commander game where fans at home can donate to give rewards or restrictions to the players.
Oh, cool.
There's an hour of Ask Rosewater. There's Play or Draw, which is a Pictionary-like card drawing game. There's Sleeper Agent, which is kind of like a, spot the sleeper agent sleuthing game, and a D&D one-shot adventure on Eldraine.
Okay, that's very cool. So if you want to support a good cause, check out twitch.tv/magic this week for a whole bunch of awesome content. We want to give congratulations to this past weekend's regional championship winners as well.
Yes, congratulations to Brett Gervin, winner of the ANZ Super Series Championship. He won with Boros Heroic, defeating Josh Bradbury on Abzan Greasefang in the finals. That metagame featured Rakdos Midrange, this is Pioneer, as the top-played Pioneer deck in the field, followed by Mono-White Humans.
Ooh, wow. 10% of the field. This Pioneer metagame, of course, gearing us up for the first Pro Tour of 2024, which will be Pioneer. Congratulations as well to Fu Yu, the winner of the MTG China Open, who played Rakdos Sacrifice and defeated Rakdos Midrange in the finals. Looks like Rakdos is not going anywhere anytime soon.
Nope.
This coming weekend are more regional championships, everybody. They're going to happen in Brazil, Taiwan, Southeast Asia, and Mexico.
Next up, Marvel enters the Universes Beyond, a teaser debut video about the new crossover released last Monday, seconds after we posted the Upkeep. We're not mad about it.
No,
we're not mad about it.
Not at all. Not at all. A press release accompanied this video release saying, quote, the first tentpole Magic set based on Marvel's fan favorite characters and epic stories will appear globally in 2025 with additional all new exciting sets for multi-generational fans to collect and play. Of course, there was huge community reaction from this announcement. It's easily the biggest Universes Beyond, I would say, since Lord of the Rings. So lots of opinions for, lots of opinions against, wherever you land. That's your opinion. Dan Buckley, president of Marvel Comics, also weighed in on this new crossover, saying, quote, trading cards have always been a part of Marvel's DNA, so this collaboration takes that experience to a whole new level.
Next up, we've got arena updates. You can now favorite card styles. You can choose whichever art you own and favorite it with a heart icon to mark it as your preferred style for that card. This means the styles button has been removed from the deck builder. To apply a style to cards in your deck, mark it as a favorite or add it manually.
Yeah, so it's just like when we got to favorite lands for the first time. Now we can favorite art, which I think is very cool. And to celebrate spooky season this week on Magic Arena and other arena news, October 31st through November 2nd, Midweek Magic will feature Innistrad Crimson Vow versus Innistrad Midnight Hunt Phantom Sealed, which should be pretty fun. It's a free-to-play event.
The next qualifier weekend and play-in events are historic. The play-ins are the 11th and the 17th, and the qualifier weekend is on the 18th and 19th. And the next Arena Open is Lost Caverns of Ixalan Limited on November 25th and 26th.
Congrats to everybody who played in the Arena Open this past weekend, everyone. I always appreciate the screenshots of everyone doing well, and also the stories of people who opened 1 million pools and didn't make it today too. Both appreciated because, the experience may vary. We also got news about Hasbro's Q3 earnings from this year, a super interesting investor earner call. Wizards of the Coast revenue grew 40% in Q3 of 2023 when compared to Q3 of 2022. Their profit increased by 99%, which is unreal, in part because of the success of the D&D video game Baldur's Gate 3. Magic tabletop revenue increased 18% thanks to Wilds of Eldraine and Lord of the Rings. All of this while Hasbro's overall revenue fell 10%. That's a woof from me, dog. That's a woof from Captain Catherine Janeway right there.
Yep, and she would know him when she sees him.
Yeah, she knows a woof when
she really does. Hasbro CEO Chris Cox says Magic and D&D are having record years.
I'd say.
Yeah. Magic is up 11% year to date when compared to 2022. The Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth passed 200 million in revenue. The only other set to ever do that was Modern Horizons 2.
Wow, so Lord of the Rings just crushing it here in Magic. On the investor call, we also learned something kind of interesting. We had the very first mention of the Magic Netflix animated show since 2021. It lives!
Wow.
It apparently lives, everybody. The last we ever heard of this show in 2021 was that the scripts had been written and that voice actors had been cast. So this time on the investor call, no new information was revealed, but it was mentioned as being a project that exists. So fingers crossed.
All right. It does exist. I thought that it perhaps did not anymore.
I know. I thought it was.
I'll be honest.
I thought it was dead and it was just
the
not
other
going
day
to
I
be
was
revived.
like, I wonder if we'll just never hear of that again.
Well, here we go.
All right.
We heard of it. They didn't say anything else, but do you remember that Superman, Brandon Routh, had been cast as Gideon?
Oh, yeah.
I always thought that was good casting. So I'm interested to see if the same actors are still attached or whatever. I'm interested to know anything generally. So hopefully we'll hear more about that in the future. Yep. Well, everybody, that's all the Magic news we have for you this week. Make sure to check out our full-length show, Good Luck High Five. It's found in the same podcast feed, wherever you get your podcasts. And you can support that show, this show, and everything that we do over on patreon.com/GLHF Magic.